Hi, my name is Uzamayi Khawakapita. I am the Communications Manager for Youth Network called Activate Change Drivers. Today we had a grassroots training in partnership with CB Books, Porcupine Press and the National Arts Council. This was hosted in Johannesburg. It is part of a pilot for CB Books, and we really were interested in partaking in this writing workshop, and we got several members of our network, 20 to be precise, to partake in this. Writing is an important part of our activism as young people and as a network. We often find that the voices and the narratives of our communities are not really always spoken by members of those communities. And so we wanted to capacitate young people, as we are a network that focuses on the development of young people. And when this opportunity came about from CB Books for us to partner with them, we really could not hesitate.
I'm Gail Robbins, and this is my husband, and we've been together 47 years, and we started a company in 1993 called DGR Writing and Research. 2009 we established Porcupine Press, a quality self-publishing company.
Cross-border books is a response to the difficulties that people in South Africa and probably around the world are having to publish local work. The markets have gone international and global bestsellers, otherwise you're not really worth anything. And what people have forgotten is that local writing, the emotional content of local writing forms the basis of good literature.
I think as a country we're moving towards the support, the development and empowerment of young people in spaces that are relevant. And you cannot have relevance or empowerment and support without documenting that. And so writing plays an imperative role in capturing thoughts, capturing concepts, but most importantly, encouraging activism at grassroots level.
It's very important for young people to be the ones who tell their own story, because they are the ones who are going through harsh experiences. They know the challenges that they are going through. Because if they are not doing that, a 75-year-old minister is going to be the one who share their own living experiences. So if they can't share their own content, that's going to limit their own rights to be expressive and to ask questions when it's necessary.
The fiction writer has to make a deliberate choice depending on what he wants to say in terms of the story.
Okay, I feel as though young people, there is a trend, a grand trend, that young people don't participate enough in this. And I feel as if the reasons for their non-participations are valid. I think that people are disgruntled. I think that people have lost faith in our political systems and the delivery of political parties to the manifestos that they bring to us. I think my experience is that we need to be active participants. I think that democracy only works if we are active participants in it. I think that we need to utilize all forms of protest in driving change. We can protest. I think also it's important that we use the political systems that are at our disposal. And the topic is the General Elections 2024.
It is one of the prime youth development organization with various impactful community programs, including this one, the Writers Hub. It develops talents. It is the change drivers, inspiring other young people to be also the change drivers. By providing solutions to social change through various expressions, including writing. It manages more than 70 hubs around South Africa, and it has more than 4,000 members around South Africa. If you know what I'm talking about, you can say yebo yes.
Yebo yes.
Thank you. Activate change drivers.
So this is White, and he says, your whole duty as a writer is to please and satisfy yourself.
I like that.
And the true writer always plays to an audience of one himself. and this is E.B. White, start glancing at the trend machine. In other words, what's fashionable.
I'm particularly interested in African spirituality, and the one topic that has since stood out for me is on how there isn't enough documentation on the actual practice of African spirituality, as well as enough information for young people who actually are experiencing an African spiritual journey to actually understand what it is that they should anticipate or what the process actually entails. I believe that if we have more publications on such topics, it would help make the process a lot more acceptable than to turn it into a taboo issue that people fear or sometimes develop mental health issues over simply because of the fear, anxiety, and the depression that some people develop.
So absolutely necessary to have this kind of structure running in for young South Africans. And it was so interesting dealing with these people that you very kindly assembled for us. The quality of the people is just amazing, brilliant. And they have, as one person called it, and they have serious aspirations, as young people should. And it gives such hope for the future, really.
A lot has come from the room, a lot of story ideas, a lot of, criticism of the status quo, and just generally young people who are in the room who are just interested in using writing as a form of activism. Oftentimes when we think about writing, we don't really look at it through the lens of activism. Oftentimes activism is linked to protest action, and the physical body being on the roads. But we also recognize and we appreciate that a lot of what we find in terms of our country where democracy is concerned is a result of what was written. We know that the pen has the power to not only educate and inform, but evoke emotions. And this does not just limit to your direct community, but it opens up the network and possibilities to the globe. So we want as a network to capacitate writers. We also want as a network to write authentic stories and to empower young people to write their stories. We believe that when we talk about the culture of writing and reading in this country, young people have an important role to play in terms of what is out there, and we want to be part of their journey.
There are other centers, really, Activate centers that we have already approached, and we are seeing how we can use their base of interaction into the communities where we can take our grassroots writing workshops into, because this is the way we start developing a national literature and getting people writing about their own circumstances and their own lives and sharing it, because we're not isolated. And thanks so much to Activate, who have been so marvelous. You run an organization that is fabulous.